Right, it's time to get this thing up on the ramps and have a look underneath. So there's a couple of things that I want to look at. You see the reverse light isn't working. The wiring and bulb filament are intact. There's no voltage at the bulb holder. There is a switch, or there should be a switch on the gearbox to operate the light. But I'm just gonna get my pads, so I've got something to lie down on. These were from Aldi, these were, which have been invaluable. It saves me lying on a bit of cardboard. The good thing is that they fit together. In a segment. So that they are easily maneuverable and locked together. Petrol can. I thought I could smell a whiff of petrol, though it doesn't seem to leak much. My corrosion assessment tool, I need that. I mean, make no mistake, this is going to be a big project, because there is a rot in every panel, rust in every panel. Pretty sure having a hole in the boot wasn't an option. I think this is going to be the hardest, or one of the hardest parts to repair, where the boot floor meets the rear wing there. It's double skinned. Well, no, it's not double skinned, not there at least anyway, but it's where it meets the boot floor. That's going to be difficult. Okay, so safety first. They're nice and secure. The wheels are fully on and they're not at any risk of toppling over. The car's in gear because the handbrake is inoperative. That's something else I want to have a look at down here actually. And first thing we notice is the rear axle arrangement. Instead of having a one-piece casing, you know, with the diff casing welded on, this is a separate pressing that's bolted on, which is a good idea. It costs a bit more to produce than a welded diff, but it does mean you can remove this and access the differential without pulling it out the front, so that's a nice feature. Spring hangers, they all seem pretty solid to me. I mean, you've got this part of the chassis, sort of chassis, well, it's not a chassis, is it? Because it's unitary, but for want of a better word, they're all solid. Something else I wanted to look for was a grease nipple that should be on here, which is the handbrake linkage. So if I put my other foam torch on, let's see if there's anything there. It may of course have snapped off. Or it may have been removed. I can't see anything there. Going off what the book says, it should be, you know, on the top of here on this crank, but there's nothing there. I'll have to clean that up because that may be, under all that grime, that may be a hole for it. What else was there? Yeah, it's all, I mean, that, it does seem to be mostly okay. I mean, there's some more, the front spring hangers there. Where's my doodah? I mean, you can tell as well by the sound that's good metal. That's under seal coming off there. But that, oh, that's getting to the sills there, but we knew they were bad. Oh yeah, yeah, that's all gone there. Oh dear. Yeah, inner sills. Yeah, that's going to need extensive reconstruction, that is. But it's not the end of the world. This at least looks nice and well defined. Look at that, you see this wire here. I like that. That's a safety cradle to catch the prop shaft in the event of it, in the event of the UJ failing and the prop shaft coming away there, which would be catastrophic, as you could imagine. That'd just dig into the road like an anchor. So that's good. The Humber has a similar arrangement, although not quite the same. Exhaust, new, you know, fairly new one. that annoying rattling. That'll explain that, why I could hear that. It's because that is rattling against the exhaust. Presumably this is something to do with the inoperative handbrake. I'm imagining that should be a bit tighter than that, and with it being a bit tighter it'd be up away from the exhaust, because there's a hanger here for it. More severe corrosion. Yeah, original flowers though, and there's no doubt that they are the original flowers. There's the fuel pipe there, which runs down the middle, and the brake line up above it there, covered in oil from the diff. That'll just be a seal that wants replacing at the nose of the diff there. Spare wheel cradle. But now let's get round to the front if I can. You know how I said at one time I need to reroute this exhaust? Well, because it's too near the overrider for my liking. Well, that's simple then. I don't need to reroute it at all. It does seem to be correct there, although the silencer is, you know, pretty vulnerable in the centre of the car. I can just bend this over to remove this part and bend it over to the left a bit to give a bit more clearance there. Can you see inside that? Yeah, you can. Don't look too bad actually inside. Let's get underneath. Again, pretty nasty. Mind you get this on every old car because look where the wheel is. I mean, everything from the road, damp and everything is being flung up there. Should that handbrake cable run through that aperture there, something to research. And bingo, that's what I was after. There are two switches there, one for the overdrive, one for the reverse light switch. They're both covered in oil. You can just see them there. So the switches are indeed present. See if there's any wiring to them. And actually, I've just had an idea. I've just had an idea. You remember this? You know, when I was getting the heater working and I said that is also happens to be the same colours Lucas used for the reverse light circuit. Well, looking at the position of this, it may have been disconnected. That may be the missing link. Let's see if I can see if there's any wires on it. On that one. Clearance is a bit tight now here. Just gonna have to bear with me. Are there any wires there? I can't see either. If you can't see it, then I certainly can't see it. It doesn't look like there are any wires present to me. Or is there one there? I'll put the car on the ramps at the front next time, so I can get a bit better access to that. This is the hand, or is it? Is that the handbrake arrangement? No, it can't be, can it? No, that's the gear change arrangement there. Yeah, it is. There's something up with the handbrake because pulling the lever does nothing. So that wants investigating. This is going to keep me busy for a long time. Evidence of some previous repairs there, you know, on these I suppose you'd call them outriggers. Nasty silk corrosion there, but I think they are the original sills looking at them. So yeah, plenty there to keep me occupied. This wing actually hasn't fared too badly. You know, it's certainly not holed through like the other one has suffered. Come on, stupid camera. Stupid camera doesn't want to focus again. And that's going to be one of the things that finishes these off. I mean, this is now on its last legs because of software. Apps and things are stopping working now, and there's no reason why that shouldn't go on for another 5 years or more, 10 years, but it's software that is finishing that, which, you know, when you think now about the environment, all these raw materials needed, plastics, heavy metals, etc., and rare earths, why can't this be made to last longer? Instead, the software is dictating its death date, and I think that's what's gonna see off a lot of modern cars as well, you know, from the 21st century. It'll be software because they're just mobile computers. I mean, this thing still runs, still drives. All it needs is welding up, you know, the body restoring, all the structural work. Of course, it was never meant to last for this long. They would have thought you were crackers in the 1950s if you said something like this was still running in 2022. But it is indeed. Oh yeah, speaking of exhaust, some bling. A bit of bling there, a deflector, so I'll fit that at some point. I'm gonna maybe trim that down and just bring it in slightly, you know, away from the overrider a bit. Another inch or so will do it, and then trim that down a bit. And then if I can have the deflector there like so. But yeah, that's it for this one. Pretty rough, pretty ropey, but hope is not lost. little repair. See you next time.